Okay. I know that I just finished talking about how Facebook is a great tool for building real life connections, and now I'm about to explain why Facebook is trash. Well, two things can be true at the same time.
Hi, I'm Natasha, and you're listening to Touch Grass and Wash Your Feet. Thank you, thank you.
Facebook is absolutely great for building real connections with real people. It does this better than just about every social media app out there. The groups feature is great for finding and connecting with local people with similar interests, and the events feature is very robust, even more so than some apps that are specifically built for promoting events. The problem is that Facebook doesn't want you to do any of this. All of the fun stuff, like seeing photos of your cousin's new puppy or updates from high school friends and the occasional passive aggressive post about America's team, yeah, all of that gets pushed to the side. Instead, we now have a Facebook that is the perfect example of what happens when a social network stops caring about connecting people and starts caring only about controlling them. Problem is, you don't control your feed. If you've tried to set your feed to most recent, you know the trick. You can change it, but Facebook always switches you back. Why? Because if they let you choose, you'd probably see more posts from people you actually know, and Facebook doesn't want that. They don't want you to see posts from your friends or the people you actually want to follow, so they always push you back to its algorithmic top post, designed so you can't escape what the company wants you to see. You follow 300 people, but your feed feels like suggested for you because you interacted with, sponsored, pages you might like. You're constantly seeing content from people and pages that you don't follow. And in most cases, people you wouldn't want to follow. It's just constant forced exposure to content you never asked for. The algorithm loves outrage, and this is something that Facebook doesn't even hide anymore. They know that negative content gets stronger reactions, and they've designed the system to prioritize it. Facebook will boost the content that triggers anger, outrage, and fear. Those emotions lead to more comments and shares, which Facebook uses to measure engagement. Calm, positive posts from friends get buried, while divisive content goes viral. Even Facebook's own leaked documents say our algorithm exploits the human brain's attraction to divisiveness. This is the platform that pretends it's connecting friends and family while it's actually using weaponized psychology to keep us addicted to conflict. The machine is working as it's intended. The truth is, Facebook wants the negative, toxic content front and center. They reward it. The more rage inducing clickbait garbage that goes out means more engagement for them. It's not that they can't stop it. You may think that with 3 billion users, it's probably impossible to moderate the platform, but that's not it. It's also not that they don't care. You may think, well, free speech, you take the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you got to deal with that content sometimes, and Facebook is right to stay out of it. That would be acceptable, but that's not the case either. This isn't a moderation issue. This is the business model. This is what they want. The more rage inducing garbage that spreads, the better the platform performs, the more data it collects, the longer you stay hooked. And here's the hypocrisy try posting something positive, body positive, sex positive, positive at all. Maybe you want to share your personal weight loss journey with others. Forget about it. One person posting a breastfeeding selfie can get an entire group nuked for violating community standards. At the same time, Facebook will turn right around and boost another group that does nothing but promote extremism and hate. Those groups thrive because they generate anger, and anger prints money. And the worst part is that there are real world consequences. This isn't hypothetical. Facebook has done real harm at scale. For starters, we have the political micro targeting scandals. Cambridge Analytica's 2018 operation weaponized Facebook data to psychologically manipulate voters in the US. They used the data obtained from Facebook to identify confirmed partisan voters and locate their friends and connections who were potential partisan voters. At the same time, Facebook itself enabled dark ads, political messages seen only by the chosen target, hidden from everyone else. For example, if politician A stated that they wanted to help control the pet population, then politician B could run Facebook ads claiming that their opponent wanted to come to your house and kill your puppy. And not only would there be no pushback from the other side, but Facebook would boost posts supporting the claim, creating different realities for different voters. And this was bipartisan. There is evidence that Barack Obama used this tactic, as well as both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. The entire game is corrupt. Facebook literally stripped away transparency and exploited fear and bias with no accountability. And the kicker? Executives only admitted it was wrong after the damage was done. Facebook didn't just fail to control dangerous content, it actually boosted it to the point that it helped to enable genocide. United Nations and Facebook itself acknowledged that the platform played a determining role in the ethnic cleansing of the Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar. Its algorithm amplified hate speech against the population, while the company failed to remove violent posts or invest in local moderation. Survivors now seek almost $200 billion in damages, arguing Facebook traded human lives for market share. Despite admitting its role, Meta has offered zero compensation, leaving a brutal question hanging. How much blood is the price of engagement? And the issue is not that Facebook failed to eradicate all hate speech. That's an unrealistic ask, even with their technology. The Rwanda genocide was facilitated by radio alone. The difference is that radio is a neutral platform. Facebook isn't. Even if Meta can't control everything that gets posted, it can absolutely control what gets boosted and promoted. And they are well aware of the danger that is possible. How do we know? Because they experimented on it themselves. Which brings us to the next point. Facebook has been running emotional manipulation experiments without your consent. In 2012, Facebook secretly manipulated the news feeds of nearly 690,000 users to test how emotions spread online. By removing either positive or negative posts, researchers found that users' moods shifted accordingly, providing large-scale emotional contagion. The study sparked outrage because participants were never asked for consent, raising ethical concerns about psychological manipulation. Facebook defended the experiment as part of improving its service, but critics argued that it blurred the line between research and exploitation. And if you can manipulate people emotionally, why not use that in the worst way possible? Extremism recruitment. Facebook's own audit found that 64% of people who join extremist groups do so because Facebook recommended it. They didn't find extremists, Facebook found them. Groups became radicalization hubs. Facebook auto-recommends groups that gradually escalate content. I got to see this firsthand. Back when I was doing my deep dive into the world of incels, it started innocent enough. I was doing research on why some guys struggle to find dates. What I found was a rabbit hole that progressively got worse. It started with guys sharing some of their grievances about modern dating. Most of what was said was valid. Some of it I agreed with. There are some women who take advantage of men and see dating as strictly transactional. And I think that guys should watch out for that. The problem is, every time I commented on a page or a group, Facebook would suggest another one, each one more hostile than the last. They went from discussing issues about dating to declaring that women as a whole are the problem. It went from horrible women exist to all women are horrible. It got to the point where I started catching myself speaking in a more negative tone with regards to dating. Knowing what was happening, I started pulling back completely, but at that point, Facebook was all in. Suddenly, I was seeing groups discussing why women should have fewer rights and why divorce should be illegal, and then it went full nuclear, and people were openly justifying violence against women and sexual assault. And then they take it off of Facebook and move to private channels. And that's how you get Telegram chats with 70,000 men discussing how you can get away with rape. Remember, I wasn't looking for any of this. I'm not a guy who was struggling with dating. I have tons of female friends and an absolutely amazing partner. And the fact that I got dragged into that type of content, I can only imagine what would happen to a person who was already emotionally compromised. This is when I understood exactly how dangerous this stuff is. And it's not just dating. Any vulnerability you may have can be exploited, and Facebook will find the hate group that is suitable for your personal tastes. And remember, Facebook knows that all of this is happening. They have done tons of research that has determined the harmful effects of social media, particularly when it comes to teen girls. They know that it contributes to anxiety, body image issues, and even self-harm. They know this. They know that it can be fixed, but fixing it hurts growth. So instead, they repeatedly misled the public about the negative effects of its own products, and any reform efforts that reduced retention or revenue were shut down by the executives. Facebook didn't accidentally become toxic. It was engineered to be toxic. It rewards anger. It punishes positivity. It manipulates politics. It addicts billions. And it hides all of this behind the word connection. Despite all of this, Facebook is still one of the best tools available if you want to build real-life connections. But you have to be willing to hack it. You have to use Facebook in a way that it is no longer intended to be used. All of the utilities that make it so effective for networking are still there, even though Facebook tries to hide them. You can still use the search features for finding connections, the groups to build like minded communities, and create events for gatherings offline, despite the fact that Facebook has intentionally made all of this harder to do. And yes, you may have to sort through an ocean of garbage to get to the parts that are worthwhile. Overall, Facebook can be a powerful tool for building your social network, but you have to exploit it before it exploits you. Hey guys, that's it for this edition of Touch Grass. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, but don't just sit and watch internet videos all day. You need to go outside and conquer life because you matter and you need to make every day matter. Now get off the internet and go touch grass.
Until we meet again!